Okay, is there a staff report?
A staff report. You all done good work, and I'm glad that you're done with this process. Thank you for
Yes, thank you. I want to thank you also for all this process here, so thank you for coming.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
I think one of the big priorities for next month for you, now that you're past all this, is the budget process, because that is going to be the development of your letter and whatever recommendations. The mayor's budget meeting was this last Saturday, and he did something different. And I know some of you attended, and the responses that I've gotten back is that folks liked the discussion. They felt that it was very useful. The mayor kind of talked about next year in relation to some of his goals in terms of potentially making a different budget process for the neighborhood communities to be involved in. The mayor will be releasing his budget message here fairly quickly, I believe in a week or so, and then you'll get a better sense of those of you going to the state of the city this coming Saturday as to what his priorities are for the budget. My understanding is, and I have to clarify this, is that there is every intention of the mayor to continue to work with the council members to have individual meetings in each of your council districts to discuss the budget, as has happened over the last few years. What those look like, I don't know yet. I think there's still a development. Part of what's going on is the mayor has an enormous amount of new staff on board, and everybody's getting used to how the mayor wants things done. And so stay tuned for that. Now, I'm trying to get a better clarification of when they're going to release that list of individual budget meetings in the council districts. Having said that, I know that there's been some discussion among council members about, not council members, commission members about what their role is in the budget meetings in the community. And I know there was a separate question to me about whether or not the commission should have their own budget meetings in each of their council districts. I know that normally those are very labor intensive, but that doesn't mean that you can't come up with a model. It just simply means that if you're going to be talking about that, you ought to be talking about that in April. Because two things, you really need to get your kind of budget priority message somewhere in early May at our May meeting. That's the absolute latest that you ought to have something. Because after that, it really becomes part of the general discussion that occurs. But you all know that there's decisions that are going to be made sooner rather than later. For those, and that's really for new commissioners who haven't been through this process before. Because the later you wait, if you wait until your June meeting, you're pretty much irrelevant at that point. They've already made the major discussions and decisions. So that probably ought to be your big discussion item for your agenda next month. Because I know you kind of put it off because of all these things, but now you have a little bit more clear sailing as you go forward with that. So that's my staff report, and my suggestion to you is that it's going to be budget, 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 and whether or not you want to do something in the community or piggyback on the community budget meetings the council members are having, you ought to start trying to decide what kind of model and where you want to fit into that process.
Okay, thank you. Announcements. So, Marie, do you want to announce?
Yeah, I wanted to announce that we're concerned in our neighborhood. We're concerned in our neighborhood because of this oil train that is bringing crude oil on our line that goes right down Monterey Highway. And there's several people who are sending out, scary things. Anytime a train blows up, you know, carrying this crude oil, it explodes because there's like a methane or propane gas on top of these, pardon?
Vapor.
Thank you. And also the crude oil has been processed, and so, well, you all know that. And so it's a bunch of different oils that can, you know, well, you've seen it. They blow up, and the only thing that they're doing so far is alerting the safety people, but the safety people in our, you know, our police and our fire, all they do is clean off a place and just let the thing burn because it's so hot and explosive. So we're having a meeting next Wednesday, and I just would like to pass this out if anybody's interested in it. You can come to our meeting.
Yeah, actually, Commissioner, Council took action on that about 2 sessions ago, about the issue of trains carrying oil. If you'd like, I can send you the links to all the documents that were discussed at Council, the reason. And this is evidently, I had a friend from another, Contra Costa County asked me what the city of San Jose did because their school board was addressing the same thing. There were concerned parents about the train accidents that had occurred, and they wanted to get, it was on their agenda for discussion. It seems to be an issue California-wide with all the accidents that are recently occurring and the concern, particularly with the oil carrying. So, yeah, Commissioner Arnold, I can send you the links if you'd like.
Okay, thank you.
And it goes through very old tracks right through residential neighborhoods in Northville of Lynn. That's, I think that track is 1936. So the trains have to go 5 or 10 miles an hour. And that's the main one that would go down, so not to worry about. Any other announcements? Otherwise, I think you can, or anybody want to say anything? We get to go home. Adjourn.
This is actually a pretty interesting topic.
Yeah, no, I know.